Pretty much all of us want dangerous criminals off our streets, but at what cost? Would you volunteer your photo for a police lineup? Or what about your personal information? Well, you might have already done that. As 4 investigator Brittany Costello discovered, you don't have much of a choice.
We see the images often. Criminals caught in the act, posted on social media, sometimes as a call for help from local law enforcement. But cops could be done waiting on tips and leads to slowly trickle in.
We enter the picture and we just have high hopes that we'll be able to get something back.
Around the nation, police are turning to technology that your social media accounts and online pictures are helping feed. It's called artificial intelligence facial recognition. And in New Mexico, a company called Clearview AI is at the helm. Cecily Barker is Deputy Chief of Investigations at the Albuquerque Police Department.
We are seeing a huge success from it in cases where we wouldn't otherwise be able to identify someone.
APD is now among a handful of local agencies that pays for access to what Clearview AI claims is a worldwide database of more than 40 billion photos, pictures you may not even know existed. It's tech that led to the recent arrest of Malcolm Alonzo. He's accused of recording people inside Walmart bathroom stalls. Clearview matched his photograph to a person captured on cell phone video taken inside the store.
You're already in the system. Whether it is a system that involves a conviction, an arrest, or being a member of the community on social media, you're part of that system. You're part of that database. For better or for worse, you're there.
Say police get a surveillance video or picture showing someone committing a crime.
They plug that into the database and AI sifts through images until there's a match. There could be many matches, even more than one picture of the same person.
It's pretty amazing what it can do. It can get pretty good at seeing distinctions between even identical twins, but it's not perfect. And it makes lots of mistakes. In fact, it makes innumerable mistakes, particularly as it relates to people past certain pigmentation colors.
UNM law professor Sonia Gibson Rankin points to numerous wrongful identifications around the country.
They get an image, the computer spit out, the AI spit out, person A that you're looking for looks just like this image we found in the database. They stop this gentleman and they say, we believe that you have stolen things out of Jefferson Parish, which is in Louisiana. And this gentleman who had never been to Louisiana said, "What is a Jefferson Parish?"
Do you guys have any concerns?
We do have concerns, and that's why we really had a lot of deep conversations prior to signing the contract with Clearview. That's why our policy reflects case laws that we've seen throughout the country and really addresses accountability measures.
Albuquerque police say they have rules for how and when the technology can be used. Their contract with the company limits access to users. It's a $75,000 subscription for 3 years. We discovered contracts even cheaper. Some agencies are paying less than 10 grand a year.
We watch this low-cost entry kind of have some concerns on both ends. Are these reputable companies that can be held accountable if they have not been properly protecting people's data?
As with APD's ShotSpotter system, third-party tech contracts are notoriously secretive about what information the public gets to see. While APD told 4 Investigates the department has had the tech for about a year, we don't know much else.
The lack of laws and legislation is a bit troubling because we seem to need to catch up with the technology that's way ahead of us.
Criminal defense attorney and KOB legal expert Ahmad Assad has many questions about the database and the quality of the photos being used to search for a suspect. In a contract with state police, Clearview warns, like other facial recognition algorithms, results are always best obtained with high-quality images in good lighting conditions.
To be clear, it's just an investigative lead for us. It is not probable cause. We cannot make an arrest off of a Clearview identification in and of itself.
In the Alonzo case, there were 49 matches. Some, APD says, were other pictures of Alonzo, but Clearview also identified other people APD says did not commit the crime.
We're doing everything we can to ensure that we don't have a false identification.
Do you expect that we will see some issues with wrongful identification?
Yes, because it's already happening across the country. Listen, this facial recognition technology has been out for decades, and it still cannot detect people at my pigmentation.
While the technology train has left the station,
When we talk specifically about this Walmart example and taking a potential child predator off the streets, seems like a no-brainer.
This individual allegedly used technology. Should law enforcement also have access to certain types of tools to also monitor these things? I do believe they should, as long as it falls within our constitutional protections.
there's a lot more work to make sure tech isn't rolling over privacy rights.
There needs to be a lot more emphasis on checks and balances.
Where there is no law, technology will go without boundaries.
Right now, New Mexico does not have a state law governing how police can use your pictures to catch a criminal. Brittany Costello, 4 Investigates.